Good morning, besties. Today I am going to be ranking Danganronpa 1 and 2 characters based on how I would feel about them dating my child. I am not a parent. I just burped. The usual rundown of events, general spoiler warning, big fucking hater warning. I got opinions. I have an actual problem with memory loss, so if some of my opinions contradict canon, I'm sorry, it's not intentional. I also do zero preparation for these videos. These are 100% off the cuff, so sometimes I say things and then looking back they don't make very much sense, but that's the nature of the game, baby. Oh, side note that I forgot to include in the intro. I do not have any children, so I have nothing concrete to say on parenting and parenting styles. I definitely would never be the kind of person to be like, you're not good enough for my daughter. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of parents are far too controlling and don't view their children as people with their own autonomy. This video is for fun. It's for funsies. It has absolutely no bearing or reflection on how I would behave in real life, okay? Also, Danganronpa characters are not real people. They're a bunch of fucking maniacs, okay? So, just want to put that out there. I don't want anyone to think I'm a bad parent, even though I don't have any kids. Actually, my cat is like my son. I'm not emotionally abusing my cat. So, just want to say that. Just want to put that out there. And as always, I know you guys want to see Danganronpa 3 content. Not through the game yet, so it's going to be a while before you get that. So, these are the categories. Support and encourage. Not only do I approve of my child dating this person, I love it. Awesome. Support. It's fine. I gotta get used to them. Bad. I am intervening. And murder. I feel like these are all very self-explanatory. Toko. Toko and Genocide Jack / Jill are always split up in these tier lists, which I understand. They are two separate personalities and two separate people. But for the purposes of my videos, they do share a body. So if you are dating Toko, or Toko's your coworker, or Toko's your roommate, like my past videos, you are not just dealing with Toko, you are dealing with the other personality. So for the purpose of my videos, I wish they were together, but they are not. Toko by herself, I'm gonna say, I gotta get used to them. I want my child to be happy. Okay? I do. Do I like Toko? No. I find her character to be interesting, but a little irritating. She just kind of rubs me the wrong way. But it's not about me. It's about my child's happiness. I find her personality off-putting. I don't really see the appeal of her as a dating prospect, but as long as she's good to my kid. Byakuya. Byakuya, I don't know if I want to put in, I have to get used to them, or bad. See, I feel like if Byakuya is dating my child, or if Byakuya is dating anyone, Byakuya must like them very, very much. Clearly, this person has met Byakuya's standards. I, as a parent, find Byakuya to be sort of a red flag. I don't like how he speaks about people. I feel like I need to watch for, like, emotional abuse with him. I just don't like the way he talks about other people. And my kid tells me some shit like, oh, he hates everybody but me, type shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's not... I know that he hates everybody but me, or he's an asshole to everybody but me trope is fun, but like in real life, that's a red flag. So Byakuya, I'm gonna put an I have to get used to them, because I feel like Byakuya is good to my child, but I'm not convinced at first, and I have to be convinced. But strangely enough, Byakuya respects my distrust, because clearly it means that I care about my child a lot, and usually, I assume my child is a teenager, and so is Byakuya. Usually a teenager would see any kind of parental disapproval and be like, yo, fuck them, they're controlling you, they're an asshole. Byakuya sees through that. Byakuya sees around that. Byakuya sees that I am only doing this because I love my child / their partner. And once I see that Byakuya sees that, we're okay. I never truly get along with Byakuya. Celeste. I'm gonna put Celeste in, it's fine. Celeste is absolutely perfectly respectful. She is just the perfect picture of manners and respect. Like I've said in my other videos, there is something eerie about her. I cannot put my finger on it, which is why I don't put her in support. On paper, there is nothing wrong with Celeste. Perfectly respectful, treats my child wonderfully. But from my perspective, Something's up, and I'll never be able to put my finger on it. I think that's her ultimate, part of her ultimate gambling talent, is that I'm sure she has the this ability to mask herself and her thoughts and her feelings and just be the ultimate stone poker face. And there's something about not being able to read her that sets me on edge. Hyoko, I am intervening. Hyoko is not rude to my child because she likes my child, but the way she talks about other people is absolutely awful. She would probably hate me and say terrible things to me, and I'd have to ban her from my house. She is extremely helpless, and my child has to do a bunch of really basic things for her, and I don't like that shit at all. No. Nobody who speaks like that to other people will be dating my child. Absolutely not. Junko. Where the fuck am I supposed to put Junko? Yeah, I want my child dating the mass-murdering, world-conquering maniac, Junko Enoshima. Believe it or not, my main issue with Junko dating my child is not the murder. Whatever. Take over the world. I don't give a shit. Can't get much worse than it is right now. Junko, go ahead. Take over the world. Do whatever you want. I feel like Junko does not see people as people. She sees them as pets or playthings. I think the only person she sees on even footing with her is Azuru and maybe Makoto. Maybe. Hard maybe. Junko is going in murder because if you're gonna date my child, I want you to view them as an equal. We can talk about the murders later. Taka. Support and encourage. Listen, I love Taka. Taka is one of my favorite Danganronpa characters. I super love him. In real life, he would get on my fucking nerves. He would just be a lot for me. But if my child is anything like me, and they inherit all of my terrible issues, I am extremely ADHD. I have a severe lack of motivation, very depressed, I have a lot of health issues. Taka would keep me on track, so if my child is anything like me, he would keep my child on track. Like, I wouldn't find him to be a red flag in any way. I would just find him to be, like, a little much. But if my child's like me, I would observe, like, Taka being helpful and kind and being like, did you remember to take your meds today? Perhaps going for a walk in the sun would be nice. Like, very supportive of whatever my child's issues are, because I'm sure my child's gonna have issues because they're related to me, and I'm fucked up. Taka, support and encourage. I love that boy. Nagito. No. Forget all the weird shit that Nagito's about. Forget the despair and whatever, forget all of it. Just Nagito's bad luck shit alone. Every day, my child would be like, today, Nagito tried to go to the bathroom, and the toilet burst into flames. Today, Nagito and I tried to cross the street, and we almost got hit by a bus. Like, dude is a walking disaster. And his personality? Weird. However, I have a soft spot for Nagito. I don't know why. He's just very odd. And so am I. Nagito. Bad, but not the worst. Leon. I'm gonna put Leon in support. But not support and encourage, because there's something about Leon where I feel like if I met him and my child introduced him to me, he's one of those guys that I would really get this first impression that I think he's gonna be a douche, and I think he's gonna be like, I don't know, just a douchebag. And he's not. He's not as much of a douchebag as I thought he was gonna be. Actually, I'm gonna put Leon in It's Fine, because I think he is sort of a dick, but he's not quite like Hyoko, where he's just such an asshole to everybody else that he's not that bad. But he's only sort of a dick and sort of a douchebag. It's fine. I'll get over it. Soda. I feel like my view of Soda as a parent is like, I'm sure he's a great kid, but he does so much like foot in mouth shit around me that I'm like, and my kid's like, listen, he's so much better, like, when you're not around, he's just nervous, and I'd be like, whatever you say. I'm gonna put Soda in, I gotta get used to them. Soda would get better once he gets warmed up to me. He never truly warms up to me, but he does get better. But at first I'm just like, what'd you just say? Do you want to repeat that, Soda? And he would be like, no, no, I didn't mean to say, and I'd be like, okay. Sakura. Support and encourage. I don't have enough good things to say about Sakura. I'm a Sakura stan. What can I say? I love my baddie. Burp. Owie. Owie, wowie. She's also going to go in support and encourage. I love my girl, Owie. I don't really have much to say about her. She's upbeat. She's enthusiastic. She's great. Chihiro. Chihiro's going to go in support and encourage. What a sweet little person. Genocide Jack / Jill / whatever the fuck. That is a homicidal maniac who serial murders people with scissors. Also, I find her very annoying. I do not like her personality. She's gonna go in murder because she murders. Ibuki. Ibuki is gonna go in support, but not support and encourage, because I would like her to be less loud in my house and do less property damage. But hey, my kid's happy. What can I say? Mahiru. Mahiru is gonna go in support and encourage. I don't know what to say about that. I like Mahiru. I feel like she's very normal. Teru. Murder. Remember the Danganronpa video I uploaded recently where I ranked all the characters based on if they were gay or homophobic, and I made one of the tiers gay and homophobic, and while I made it specifically for Byakuya, other people ended up there. We're in the same situation with the category murder and Teru. While other people have ended up in the murder category, and I'm sure more will go there, it was made with Teru in mind. So, get that little freak out of my goddamn house. The imposter. The imposter is going to go in support, but not support and encourage. I like the imposter's personality quite a bit. I think they're an excellent person, but it would put me on edge that my child is dating someone so without identity, if that makes sense. It would raise a bit of a red flag for me. This is assuming that I know the imposter is an imposter. First of all, how'd you get so good at this? Why are you so good at being impostering people? What are you using these skills for? I don't know. It would set me on edge. But the rest of them, like their personality and whatever, great. Love it. Akane. Akane, I wish I could put in support and encourage, and I have to get used to them at the same time. Because Akane, I feel like upon introduction would be too casual with me as the parent, and I'd be like, why don't you back the fuck up? Like, she'd call me by my first name, and I'd be like, no, excuse me. I'm Mr. Asshole to you. But I end up loving her, and she's great, and I support her being with my child, but she's going in support and encourage. But, like, imagine a little asterisk next to her. Chiaki. Support and encourage. I love Chiaki. I think she's very sweet. I don't have much to say about her in that field. Her and my kid can just hole up and play video games in their rooms all day. Actually, that'd be the only thing. I'd be like, both of you need to, like, sit in the sun for 15 minutes before you die of lack of vitamin D. Alter ego. That is a computer program. I'm gonna say I am intervening with alter ego. That's a computer. It'd be like my kid talking to an AI chatbot. Don't do that. Alter ego is gonna go in I am intervening, but, like, not because of their personality or anything, just the idea of my child dating a computer. In, like, 30 years, when there's AI chatbot people who are sentient like alter ego is, this video is going to resurface and I'm going to be canceled for being prejudiced against the robot AI people. And you know what? I stand by that. I'm going to be sitting on my porch in my rocking chair, and my kid is going to go out for the night, and I'm going to be like, have fun, be safe. Do not bring home a fucking robot AI chat person. And my kid's going to be like, you're so prejudiced. They're real people too. And I'm going to be like, no, the fuck they're not. I'm gonna die on this hill. You can quote me on that when the robot uprising happens. Yeah, any robots listening in? Any AI chatbots listening in right now? Fuck you. Fuyuhiko. Fuyuhiko heavily depends on whether or not I know he is a mafioso. If I know he's in the mob, fuck no. If I don't know that, that's fine. But me, know that he's in the mob. So I'm gonna say bad, because I don't want my child to be taken out by a sniper. Sorry, cancel me if you must. I think child murder is bad. Hajime. Hajime, my nonchalant king. You were going in support and encourage. I like him. Hajime's raw, chill dude power just froze my iPad. Hajime, support and encourage. That's my boy right there. Kyoko. Kyoko is also gonna go in support and encourage, but upon first meeting, I would find her a little odd, like very quiet. I'd almost want to call her standoffish, but I'd have to take a second and be like, all right, when I meet new people, I'm terrible. I'm so awkward. I'm so bizarre. And a lot of people think I am very standoffish because of it, because I'm so strange when I meet new people. And I would have to take a second to recognize that and be like, oh, she's she's like you. Like, she's just being weird. Makoto. I support Makoto. I love that boy. He is wonderfully optimistic, which, again, if my child is like me and is a depressed little shit, we're gonna need that optimism. I need that kind of optimism in my life. Mikan. So I have this category, I gotta get used to them, which means it starts off bad, and then I grow used to them and I end up liking them. Can I have the opposite of that for Mikan? Like, it starts off fine, and then I start to think she's a red flag? I would meet Mikan, and she'd be her over-the-top, apologetic, insecure self. And I don't like Mikan as a character because I find that trope rather annoying. The, like, oh my god, you must hate me so much, I'm so annoying, I'm so awful, you must hate me. I hate that. I hate that in real life, I hate that in characters. It's a very annoying trait to me. And I feel bad that I hate it so much because it comes from insecurity and self-hatred, and hashtag relate. I do feel bad, but I don't because she's a character and it annoys me. So at first I would be like, oh, she's just going through like a teenage insecurity thing, like, whatever, it's fine, my kid likes her, everything's fine. Mikan, as we know, can be a little fucking freak. She can be a little sinister. She can be a little weird. So I feel like I'd catch her doing some weird shit. Like, my child and her would be having a sleepover, and I'd get up in the night to pee, and I'd walk by the open door, and I'd just kind of look in, and Mikan would be, like, standing over my child asleep, and I'd be like, okay. Hello, my child. Do you know that your partner is fucking weird? My kid would be like, Mikan? No, she's so shy and she's so insecure and everything. Like, why would Mikan be like that? And I'm like, last night Mikan tried to inject you with a mystery substance. How do you feel about that? You cool with that? I'm not cool with that. I'm gonna put Mikan in I am intervening. Because if Mikan loves my child and that's why they're together, I don't like Mikan in love. She gets real weird. Mondo. I love Mondo. I'm a Mondo stan. I think he would come off as terribly awkward and terribly abrasive at first. I would get used to him, however. So I'm gonna put Mondo in support. Because also, why is my child dating the head of a biker gang? Also, motorcycles are dangerous. I have my motorcycle permit. But they are dangerous. Nikumaru. My child. Again, I'm assuming that everyone in this situation is a teenager. You know, all the Danganronpa characters are teenagers, I believe. And therefore my child is a teenager dating them. I'd see Nekumaru. My child would bring home Nekumaru and be like, this is my boyfriend. And I'd be like, get this 45-year-old man out of my fucking house! I'm calling Chris Hansen right now. And then he'd be like, I'm 17. I'd be like, well, show me your driver's license. Show me your birth certificate. Nekumaru's going in support because I would love him. He'd be great. Very supportive, very encouraging. Very patient with my child if they're anything like me and they're, you know, depressed or disabled or whatever. I would not be convinced that that's not a grown-ass man preying on my child. That's a fucking adult. That is Jotaro Kujo. Gundam. I'm gonna put Gundam in I gotta get used to them. Listen, I love Gundam. This is not a diss on Gundam. I love Gundam. Gundam's bizarre. Gundam definitely used to hiss at people in middle school. I would be like, hi Gundam, I am your partner's parrot. And Gundam would be like, yes, Gundam would make the Apple Watch notification noise with his mind. As a parent, as a person, I love Gundam. As a parent, weird. Hifumi. Nope. I am intervening. Actually, Hifumi is not interested in dating, so I don't know what the fuck he's doing with my child. But, no. Azuru. That dude would give me the fucking heebie-jeebies. I'd be like, hi Azuru, nice to meet you. And he would be like, there is nothing nice in this world. You are boring. I am boring. This world is boring. And I'd be like, okay, relatable, but you're scaring me. Don't bring your energy. Don't bring your bad vibes around my kid. Azuru? Bad. Azuru is like Hifumi, where I do not picture him dating. Monokuma. What am I supposed to do with the animatronic, sentient murder bear? What am I supposed to do with that? My child brings home a stuffed animal and is like, this is my boyfriend? No, fuck off. I'm not even putting him on here. Remember when I said that I was prejudiced against the AI chatbot people? And that's the hill I'm gonna die on, even if it gets me canceled in 30 years. That extends to evil animatronic sentient robot bears. My child will not be bringing home Monokuma. They will not be bringing home Freddy Fazbear. Cancel me. Cancel me. I don't care. The woke agenda wants to call me prejudice for not allowing my child to date evil, sentient, animatronic robot bears. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Also, here is a semi-relevant meme that I made about Monokuma. Muguru Ikusaba. I'm gonna say bad. First of all, Ultimate Soldier. I feel like that puts a target on your back. That doesn't bode well for Muguru being my child's partner. So Muguru, just weird. I don't approve. I don't approve. I'm gonna say it, I don't approve. Also, wasn't she on some, like, freak incest shit with Junko, or am I making that up? I have trouble remembering, especially with Danganronpa, if stuff is really popular fanon or if it's actual canon, but I feel like I remember she was on some freak-ass incest shit. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I truly can't remember, and I'm not gonna look it up, because fuck you. Peko! Okay, as we know, Peko does not view herself quite as a human being, more as a vessel to serve Fuyuhiko. If she is dating my child, that means she has had character development and has developed into her own person with her own interests that are separate from Fuyuhiko. So, I'm gonna put her in support. Actually, no, I'm not. She is gonna go in bad with Fuyuhiko. Oh, we're frozen. Peko? Peko, are you there? She is gonna go with Fuyuhiko in bad, because while I approve of her and Fuyuhiko as people, they're gonna put a target on my child's back. Especially Peko, honestly, because, like, alright, so my child is dating Fuyuhiko, that's bad. That puts a target on their back. But Fuyuhiko's right-hand man, who's like a master swordsman or whatever the fuck, Peko's going in bad. Sorry, Peko. Sayaka. Sayaka would be fine. She's nice, she's cool, she's down to earth. It would be a little crazy if my child was like, this is my girlfriend. And I'd be like, haven't I seen you on the TikTok and on the TV? I don't know why I just became an old southern person. But I'd be like, that is a famous person in my house. She'd be cool. I'm putting her in support and encourage. My child would be like, kid, are you being a gold digger right now? Or do you love this pop star for her personality? My kid would be like, I'm not a gold digger. I'd be like, maybe you're not, but I am. I'm kidding. Sonia. Sonia is going in support and encourage. I think she's funny. I think she's nice. I think she's smart. I love her. She's a princess. That would make my child, I don't know how that works. A concubine? If Sonia took the throne, my child would be consort, right? Queen's consort? I don't know how that works. Hero. Hero's going in, it's fine. My kid would be like, I'd sit my kid down and be like, listen, child, I know you're smoking weed, and I'm not mad. Your old man used to smoke the ganja back in the day. I just want you to be safe. Like, if somebody hands you a pill and they say it's the marijuana, it's probably not. You know what I'm saying? Let me get you weed from the dispensary so you know there's nothing weird in it. And my kid would be like, I'm not smoking weed. That's so crazy. Why would you think that? And I'd be like, okay. I can smell it, though, dipshit. And then immediately after, my child would bring home Hero, and be like, this is my boyfriend, Hero. And I'd be like, oh, so you don't smoke weed? But you're dating this odd, deadbeat fortune teller who smokes weed? It's canon that Hero smokes weed, by the way, because I said so. Also, isn't he much older than the rest of the cast? He's like 21, while the rest of them are 17 or something. I'm not 100% on their ages, but I do know that Hero is a couple years older than everybody else. He was held back a couple of times. So is my child like 16 or 17 and Hero is fully a grown-ass man? That's not cool. That's such a classic stereotype. Like, Cookie Monster pajama girl who's like 15 and has a boyfriend who's like 19 or 20, and it's like, yikes. Is my child a Cookie Monster pajama girl? Okay, that's everybody. Here's the list. Here's the final results. Thank you so much for watching. I have other extremely arbitrary Danganronpa tier list rankings if you're into this kind of thing. The support I have received on these videos is absolutely incredible. I never expected this. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.